Ladies and gentlemen, look at them now, stewing in their anger, simmering in their own regret. They thought they could play you, manipulate you, discard you like yesterday's news. But oh, how the tables have turned. What they didn't see coming, what they never could have prepared for, was the day when you would finally wake up. You would no longer be the pawn in their game, no longer a tool to be used for their convenience, no longer someone they could step on and toss aside with ease. They thought they could break you. They thought they could crush your spirit, leave you shattered, only to rebuild you in their image, in a form that would serve them better. But here you are, standing tall, standing strong. You are untouchable, unbreakable. And now, as the dust settles and the reality hits, they are the ones who are lost, who are empty, who are drowning in the consequences of their actions. They thought they had power over you, but they never did. They only had the illusion of power. They played their cards, tried to manipulate your feelings, twisted your emotions like a puppet master pulling strings. They thought that by controlling you, they could control the narrative. They thought they could make you feel small, insignificant, desperate for their approval, hungry for their affection. They thought you would always come crawling back, no matter how much they hurt you, no matter how many times they broke your trust, no matter how many times they let you down. They believed they could discard you whenever it suited them, that you would always be waiting for them to come back, to give you another chance, to offer you another piece of false hope. But they didn't understand one thing, did they? They didn't understand that you were stronger than they ever gave you credit for. They didn't understand that you were capable of letting go, of walking away, of cutting them off completely. They didn't understand that one day you would realize your worth, that you would see yourself not as a victim of their games, but as someone who deserves so much more. And now, as they sit there in their regret, in their misery, they can do nothing but watch as you move forward with your life, as you leave them behind in the dust. Oh, how they must hate that. Oh, how they must seethe with envy as they see you thriving without them. They thought they had you figured out. They thought they knew what buttons to press to keep you under their thumb, to keep you tethered to their toxic ways. But they were wrong. They didn't know you at all. And now, they have to face the harsh truth that they lost you forever. They can't have you back, no matter how much they beg, no matter how many tears they shed, no matter how many apologies they offer. The damage has been done, and it's irreversible. They will try, of course. They will try to make you feel guilty. They will try to manipulate you one last time, using the same tactics they used before. They will try to make you believe that they have changed, that they are different now, that they can be the person you always wanted them to be. But you know better. You know better than to fall for their lies, better than to allow them back into your life, better than to let them poison your world once again. You have seen their true colors, seen who they really are, and you know that you deserve better. You deserve someone who values you, who respects you, who sees you for who you truly are, and loves you without reservation. And yet, as they fumble, as they scramble to find a way to undo the damage they've caused, they will realize something that stabs them deep into their heart. They lost you forever. You are gone, and you are never coming back. They will never again have the chance to use you, to manipulate you, to tear you down, and build you up again in their image. That chapter is over, closed, finished, and there's nothing they can do about it. The worst part for them, the part that gnaws at their very soul, is that they know they have no one to blame but themselves. They can look around at their friends, their family, their colleagues, and they will find no sympathy, because deep down, even those who once stood by their side, those who once supported their every move, even they know the truth. Even they know that they brought this upon themselves. They were the ones who pushed you away. They were the ones who took you for granted. They were the ones who failed to see the treasure they had right in front of them. And now, they will have to live with the consequences of their actions for the rest of their lives. Oh, the pain they must feel, the emptiness that now haunts them. They will try to fill that void with distractions, with other people, with meaningless pursuits. But nothing will ever fill the hole that you left behind. No one will ever measure up to the person they lost. They will never find anyone who makes them feel the way you did, who challenges them in the way you did, who loves them in the way you did. They will always be haunted by the ghost of what could have been, by the nagging realization that they threw it all away for nothing. And here you are, standing on the other side of it all, stronger than you ever were before. They thought they could break you, but all they did was help you find your true strength. They thought they could destroy you, but all they did was propel you forward, faster and further than you ever could have gone without them. Every time they tried to bring you down, you only rose higher. Every time they tried to tear you apart, you only grew more whole. They were the ones who lost, and you were the one who won. You will never again allow someone to treat you the way they did. You will never again allow someone to disrespect you, to use you, to discard you when they're done with you. You will never again let someone make you feel small, make you feel less than. You are more than they could ever understand. You are more than they could ever deserve. And now, they will have to live with the knowledge that they had a chance to be a part of your life, but they blew it. Now they will have to live with the knowledge that they will never, ever get another chance. So let them wallow in their regret. Let them drown in their sorrow. Let them feel the weight of their mistakes, because they will never have the satisfaction of knowing that they were the ones who caused your downfall. No, they will only know that they were the ones who lost you. They will know that they were the ones who had the chance to be with you, to cherish you, to love you, and they blew it. You will go on, and you will thrive. You will find happiness in places they never thought possible. You will find peace in ways they could never understand. You will find love that is pure, love that is real, love that will never fade away. And they will be left behind, stuck in the past, stuck in their own misery, stuck in the prison of their own regret. And as you walk forward, leaving them behind, remember this: they can never have you back. They can never undo the damage they've done. And as long as you hold your head high, as long as you keep moving forward, they will never, ever be able to catch up, because they lost you forever, and there's nothing they can do about it. No amount of pleading, no number of apologies, no grand gestures or promises of change will ever be enough to bring you back into their lives, because what they don't understand, what they failed to realize all along, is that you are no longer the person they once knew. You are no longer someone who can be manipulated, deceived, or discarded. You've evolved, you've grown, and most importantly, you've learned to recognize your own worth. That person they took for granted is gone, and the one standing here today is someone who knows exactly who they are and what they deserve. They can't undo the past, no matter how badly they want to. The scars they've left on you, the wounds they've inflicted on your heart and soul, will never fully heal in the way they imagine. You may forgive, you may move on, but there will always be a part of you that remembers, a part of you that will never forget how they treated you, how they manipulated you, how they thought they could walk all over you without consequence. And that part of you is what gives you the strength to never look back, to never return to the place where you once were. You have learned from their mistakes, and in doing so, you've become unrecognizable to them, too. They see you now, don't they? They see you living your life, thriving in ways they never thought possible. They watch from the sidelines, perhaps even with envy, perhaps even with regret, wondering how they could have missed it, wondering how they could have let you slip through their fingers. They thought they had time. They thought they had control over you, over your future, over the direction of your life. But time ran out for them, and now they are left with nothing but the haunting knowledge that they lost something precious, something irreplaceable, and they can never get it back. What's even more tragic for them is that they had it all, had you right in front of them. They were never able to appreciate the value you brought into their lives. They took you for granted, never realizing the strength and depth of your love, your loyalty, your unwavering support. They thought you would always be there, always waiting for them to come around, always forgiving their flaws, always accepting their excuses. But they were wrong. The moment you decided that enough was enough, the moment you decided you were worth more, the moment you recognized that you deserved better than what they were offering, they lost. They lost the best thing that ever happened to them, and they will spend the rest of their lives trying to convince themselves otherwise. They may try to find someone else who can fill the void you left behind. They may jump from one relationship to the next, searching for someone who can make them feel whole again, searching for someone who can heal the wounds they inflicted on themselves by losing you. But deep down, they know it will never be the same. No one will ever make them feel the way you did. No one will ever challenge them the way you did. No one will ever love them with the same intensity and devotion that you offered. They will settle for second best because they will never be able to replace you, no matter how hard they try. They may try to move on with their lives, but it will always be with the shadow of their mistake looming over them. Every relationship, every friendship, every connection they try to forge will always be tainted by the knowledge that they let you go. They'll wonder what could have been, question whether they could have done things differently, and second guess every decision they made that led to this point. And in the silence of their own thoughts, they will know the truth. They made a fatal error in thinking they could throw you away and still find happiness. You were the constant they took for granted. You were the foundation they relied on without ever acknowledging how solid it was, how strong it stood. They treated you like an afterthought, like a placeholder for the things they truly desired. They used you when it was convenient and cast you aside when they thought they didn't need you anymore. They never once stopped to appreciate what they had until it was too late. But here's the thing, they'll never have that chance again. You will never give them that opportunity. Because the person who walked away from them wasn't weak. The person who walked away from them wasn't desperate for love, wasn't hungry for validation. The person who walked away from them was strong, self-assured, and unwilling to accept less than they deserve. And that person is now free. What they never understood is that you were never the one who was lost. They were the ones who were lost, trapped in their own selfish desires, incapable of seeing what was right in front of them. You were a gift they never recognized. You were someone who would have given them the world, who would have stood by them through thick and thin, who would have loved them unconditionally. But they couldn't see past their own insecurities, their own fears, and their own selfish needs. They couldn't see that the love you offered was not a commodity to be taken for granted, but something rare, something special, something to be cherished. And now that it's gone, they will spend their lives searching for something that doesn't exist. They may say they've changed. They may say they're different now, that they've learned their lesson. But deep down, you know better. You know that words are just that, words. The truth lies in actions, not in empty promises. They may tell you they're sorry, but you know they're only sorry because they lost you, not because they truly understand the damage they've caused. If they were truly sorry, if they truly understood the weight of their mistakes, they wouldn't have done what they did in the first place. They wouldn't have taken you for granted. They wouldn't have treated you like an option instead of a priority. They wouldn't have let you go so easily. But they did. And now they have to live with the consequences as they sit in their regret, as they wallow in the mess they've created. You are moving forward. You are leaving them behind, leaving their toxicity, their manipulation, their lies in the past where they belong. You are no longer bound by their mistakes, no longer tethered to their broken promises. You have found freedom. You have found peace. And as you step into this new chapter of your life, you will find things that you never thought possible. You will find people who will appreciate you, who will value you, who will treat you with the respect and love you deserve. You will find happiness in places you never dreamed of, and it will be real, not the fleeting happiness they try to offer you through empty words and false hope. They can't change the past. They can't erase the hurt they caused. They can't undo the damage they've done to themselves by losing you. They can't have you back, no matter how much they want to, no matter how much they wish they could turn back time. They can't change what happened. And deep down, they know that. They know they've lost you for good, and there is nothing they can do to get you back. So let them suffer. Let them drown in their own regret, in their own bitterness, in their own guilt. Let them see you for what you are now, a person who has moved on, a person who has grown stronger, a person who has found their worth. Let them look at you from afar, wishing they had treated you better, wishing they had realized sooner that you were the best thing that ever happened to them. Let them watch as you live the life they thought they could control, as you build a future they will never be a part of, because they've lost you, and no matter what they do, no matter how many times they try to reach out, they can never, ever have you back. Not in the way they once had you, not in the way they took for granted, not in the way they were able to manipulate your love for their own gain. They will search for that version of you, shaped and molded to fit their needs, but they will never find it. The truth, the cold, harsh reality, is that the person they lost was never theirs to keep. You were always yours, always meant to be more than the sum of their expectations, always destined to break free from their grasp. And now, as they sit in their regret, they will never see the real you again. They will only see the shadow of the person they failed to appreciate, the reflection of the strength they couldn't recognize. They thought they had you figured out, didn't they? They thought they could control you with their charm, their lies, their false promises. They thought they could lure you back whenever they felt lonely or needed validation, as if you were some backup plan they could call upon in their moment of need. But you were never their backup plan. You were never their second choice. You were always meant for so much more than they were ever capable of seeing. And now, as they look at their empty hands, as they look at their broken hearts, they have nothing left but the realization that they lost something irreplaceable, something that can never be recovered. In the beginning, when they first played their games, when they first started testing the waters, they had no idea what they were dealing with. They thought they could push your buttons, test your loyalty, and use your love against you. They thought they could get away with it because they underestimated you. They underestimated your intelligence, your resilience, your strength. They never realized that you weren't the type to be fooled by their lies, that you weren't the type to bend and break for the sake of their comfort. They thought they could keep you around for as long as it suited them, and when they were done, they could simply toss you aside like a forgotten toy. But you weren't their plaything. You were never meant to be discarded when the novelty wore off. You were always meant to shine, to grow, to spread your wings and soar. When you finally left, when you finally made the choice to walk away, they didn't see it coming. They didn't understand the magnitude of your decision. They didn't know that the love they thought they could always have was not unconditional, was not infinite, was not a one-way street. They didn't know that there was a point at which your patience would run out, a point where you would stop begging for scraps of affection, stop chasing a love that was never going to be real. They never believed that you could walk away and never look back. But here you are, standing firm, standing tall, knowing you did the right thing, knowing that you took control of your life when they tried to take it from you. As they sit there, wallowing in their mistakes, they will never understand the true weight of what they lost. They will try to fill the hole you left behind with distractions, with empty relationships, with the comfort of knowing that they can get by without you. But deep down, they know it's all a lie. They know they can't fill that space, because the space you left behind was never just an empty void. It was a reflection of everything you gave to them. The love, the loyalty, the devotion. They can never replace that with something shallow, something that only serves to numb the pain of losing you. No matter how hard they try, they will always be haunted by the ghost of what could have been, the ghost of the love they threw away. You see, they thought they were the ones in control. They thought they could hold all the cards. They thought they could dictate the terms of your relationship, setting the rules while you obeyed. They thought they could call the shots, telling you when to stay and when to leave, when to fight and when to give up. They thought they were the ones who held the power, who held the key to your heart. But they were wrong. They never held the power. The power was always in your hands. The power was always in your ability to choose, to decide who gets to stay in your life and who gets to walk away. And when you made the decision to walk away from them, to sever the ties that once bound you, you reclaimed your power. You reclaimed your self-worth, your dignity, your freedom. And in that moment, they lost. They will try to get you back. They will try to send you messages, make excuses, reach out with apologies they don't truly mean. They will tell you that they've changed, that they've learned from their mistakes, that they are a different person now. But you know better. You know that people don't change just because they say they do. They don't change because they've suddenly realized the value of what they had. They change when they make a conscious decision to do the work, when they take responsibility for their actions and prove through consistent effort that they are capable of growth. But they haven't done that. They haven't shown you that they are worthy of another chance, and you are no longer willing to give them the opportunity to break your heart again. They'll try to pull you back into their world with the same manipulation tactics they used before. They'll promise you everything you wanted the first time around, promise to be the person you always hoped they could be. But deep down, you know that it's all just a game. It's all just a way for them to regain control over you, to reel you back in and make you believe that things will be different this time. But you are wiser now. You know the truth. You've seen their patterns, seen how they operate, seen how they use their charm and their lies to get what they want, and you will never fall for it again. You are not the same person you were when you first met them. You are not the same person who once believed that love was enough, who once believed that giving all of yourself to someone else was the answer. You've learned that love is not about losing yourself for the sake of another. It's not about sacrificing your needs, your wants, your boundaries, just to make someone else happy. Love is about mutual respect, mutual effort, and mutual growth. And they failed to meet you on that level. They failed to see you as an equal, as someone worthy of the same love and devotion you gave them. They failed to appreciate the value you brought into their life. And now, they will spend the rest of their days trying to understand why you walked away, why you no longer want them in your world. They will never find peace with it. They will never find closure. The wound they inflicted on themselves by losing you will never fully heal. They will try to move on. They will try to convince themselves that they are better off without you, but the truth will always linger. They will always know, deep down, that they lost the best thing that ever happened to them. And as the years go by, as they move through relationships that don't hold a candle to what they once had with you, they will think of you. They will think of you and wonder what could have been. They will wonder if they could ever have had you back. But the answer will always be the same. No, they can never, ever have you back. Because you've moved on. You've stepped into your power. You've learned to love yourself in ways they never could, ways they never appreciated. You've realized that you are worth so much more than they ever gave you credit for. You are worth the love, the respect, and the effort of someone who truly sees you, who truly values you, and that someone is out there waiting for you, someone who will never take you for granted, someone who will never discard you like yesterday's news. You are not meant to settle for less. You are meant for greatness. You are meant for a love that is real, a love that is unconditional, a love that makes you feel whole. So let them suffer. Let them wallow in the consequences of their own actions. Because as long as you continue to grow, as long as you continue to rise above their petty games, as long as you continue to stand firm in your worth, you will never look back. You will never second guess your decision. You will never regret walking away from someone who didn't deserve you. And they will be left in the dust, staring at the life they could have had, if only they had known what they had when they had it. But they didn't. And now, they can never, ever have you back. In the end, they can never have you back. They will live with the weight of their mistakes, haunted by the love they took for granted and the opportunity they squandered. But you have moved on. You have found your strength, your worth, and your peace. You are no longer tied to their past, no longer defined by their inability to appreciate what you brought into their life. You are free, and in that freedom, you will thrive, knowing that you are deserving of the love, respect, and happiness that only comes when you let go of the ones who never truly valued you.